"Cool it, Beasty. You'll break my back," shouted the alien woman as the human treated her wound. Battle had ended hours ago, but the smell of smoke still hung over the ruined valley. The alien woman lay against a shattered piece of her ship, her silvery skin glowing faint under the fading light. Her breath came slow and heavy each inhale trembling through her chest. The wound on her side burned from a deep slash made by her own kind. Human crouched beside her, his hands shaking not from fear, but from exhaustion. His name was Luke, a simple engineer from the Outer Rim colony. He had been hiding in the wreckage. When he found her, he never thought he would be helping an alien, one of the Xyrenes, the same species that had wiped out his base. But when he saw her struggling to breathe, his heart made the choice before his mind could argue. He tore a strip from his uniform and pressed it against the wound. The alien flinched and muttered something in her language the translator embedded in. Her armor stuttered for a moment before translating. "Cool it, Beasty, you'll break my back," she said, her voice carrying both pain and pride. He almost smiled despite the tension. Her words sounded less like anger and more like defiance. Luke tied the makeshift bandage tighter. He noticed the strange blue fluid seeping out. It pulsed like liquid light. She watched him with her golden eyes. Sharp yet tired, there was no hate, there only confusion and something close to curiosity. "Humans should have run," she said softly, her voice now weaker. He shook his head. "Couldn't let you die," he replied. Simply for a long while neither spoke. The valley around them was silent, except for the distant hum of falling debris. The alien ship burned like a dying star on the horizon. She looked toward it, then back at him. "You saved your enemy," she whispered. "Why?" Did not answer right away. He looked at her hands, at the long, slender fingers, now trembling as she tried to keep her balance, maybe because no one else would. He said at last. She looked away, as if unsure how to reply. Her breathing steadied slowly. Helped her sit upright carefully. Her armor was cracked, revealing veins of light beneath her skin. Like living circuitry, she reached for a small crystalline. Her chest, it flickered weakly. It was her life core, the heart of her being. She handed it to him, her hand shaking. "If this stops, I stop," she said. "You know what?" Tadeu stared at it. The crystal pulsed faintly. It was beautiful and alive. He looked at her, then at the device on her wrist. "How do I fix it?" he asked. She blinked at him, surprised at his tone. "You would help even now. You would risk it for me." He only nodded without hesitation. Her gaze softened. Almost human, she guided his hands, her voice faint. "The energy lines connect through here. Do not cross them. It will burn through you." He followed her instructions carefully. Each movement measured his hands. Steady, though. Sweat covered his brow, and the crystal reconnected. Her body lit faintly, as if stars had returned to her skin. She gasped and clutched her chest, then fell silent. He thought she was gone, but then her eyes opened, glowing brighter than before. Her lips curved into something almost like a smile. "Yo did it. Human," she said, her tone quieter now. She tried to stand, but stumbled. He caught her before she fell again. She looked up at him, her eyes reflecting the pale moonlight. "Hey, why would you save me truly this time?" He looked back and said, "Because maybe one day you would have done the same for me." Her expression changed slowly. Something inside her broke free from the weight of command or war. She placed her hand on his chest, feeling his heartbeat strong and steady. For a moment, she said nothing. Then she whispered, "Your kind is strange. Maybe that is why you ween." Laughed softly. "We don't always win." She tilted her head, then smiled faintly again. "Maybe not in battle, but here." She touched his chest again. "Where your heart is." "Yes, you do." Night deepened, stars spread across the sky. The last of the fires dimmed. She sat beside him, her strength slowly returning. The silence was no longer heavy. It felt alive, filled with quiet understanding. They did not need to speak. Any Maria, human, and an alien, to broken survivors. Under a dying sky, sharing warmth, not as enemies, but as something neither had words for. She leaned her head against his shoulder, her breath calm and steady. He closed his eyes for the first time in days. He felt peace when dawn came. The wreckage it was cold, but the air was clear. The war might still rage beyond the horizon, but for that one moment, they had won something greater than victory. They had found mercy in each other.